Hi, today is the first day that we're going to start with our 2020 breathing and meditation. But before we begin going deep into meditation or any type of breathing work, which my objective is to teach you something, and then you use this video for the rest of the week guide you to do that particular meditation. And we'll start out slow and small, and then we'll slowly grow. At least that's my intention. First, I want to begin by talking about breathing. And believe it or not, as many clients that I've worked with, and I talk about breathing, and I talk about how diaphragmatic breathing is the proper way to breathe healthfully, holistically. They say yes, and they do breathe like that, but then when I don't get the results that I'm looking for, I then have to see and make sure, and they're not breathing right. So that's why I want to start with this video. So I'm glad I've had that experience enough to know this is the greatest place to start. So when we meditate, you can sit in a chair. When we breathe, you can sit on the floor. You can shift. You can do whatever you need to do that's comfortable. You can sit on a yoga block if you have flexibility issues, or you can kind of sit how I'm sitting. So I want to start by addressing the breath. And as I typically teach this, I typically put a hand on the chest and then a hand in the lower abdominal, specifically underneath the belly button. Okay, and so when you are in an erect position with your spine lengthened, which is the position that we want to hold, it's the position that we want to be stable and strong in. So it is the position we practice. And so with that, I want you to just close your eyes and then take a breath, just a regular breath. And just feel into your body where that breath initiates first. And then as you exhale, feel into your body the completion of your exhalation. And then on your next breath, what I want you to take is a large breath. Fill your lungs, fill your body as much as you possibly can, and then exhale. And feel how your body exhales. Where does it go? Where does it finish? Where does it start? So, with that being said, take one more breath, concentrating on just you. And then exhale. And I want the breath to come from the nose. So it's parasympathetic dominant. We may in the beginning do an inhale, exhale, in through the nose, out through the mouth. But once we get into our breathing, we'll mainly be into the nose to create a parasympathetic dominance. Okay, so back to our breathing. If you felt your lower hand move first, and you felt your abdominal contents fill first, then right on. You did it right. That's perfect. And the more you breathe, the bigger your breath is. The finish of your breath, the conclusion of your breath, you will feel a natural vertical lift. That's so normal. Good. So it should be inhale. So I feel my belly get big, and then as I inhale more, my ribs go into a lateral movement, and my spine extends and straightens, and then I feel this, where else can the breath go but up? And then as you exhale, it's kind of like from the top down, and then the belly comes in on the exhale. On the inhale, the belly goes out. On the exhale, the belly goes in. And so that is the perfect diaphragmatic breath. Now, if that is difficult or is challenging, we can make it easier on your joint systems. And so what I would recommend is then going to another position. And so then you can go into a 4-point position. A mirror is very helpful. And you can see it get bigger on the inhale. And then on your exhale, get smaller. And so this is something you're going to practice. How long would I practice? For about 5 minutes. I would several times a day. If that is difficult, then I would recommend go ahead and lying down. And lying down on your back, putting your hands, something physical. I've oftentimes used a water bottle. Use a water bottle because some people are very kinesthetic. And that water bottle, that pressure, the body feels that. And your intention with your mind, connecting with your body, you know to inhale, that water bottle should raise. And then that belly gets bigger. And that is the easiest way to teach yourself to breathe diaphragmatically, which is laying on your back in supine position. So that's important before we get started. And doesn't mean that if you don't are having problems or you can't breathe like that, that you shouldn't start this. No, because within your practice with us, you'll be practicing your breath. And that's what I'm encouraging everyone to do, is continue to practice this breathing, and with somebody, with everyone that's joining you in this 2020 mindfulness, awareness practice that helps us become more connected with our mind and our body, more importantly, with our mind and our heart. And I always am going to offer a new and different type of meditation that can help you and keep you stimulated and keep you excited, enthusiastic about this process. So that's all I wanted to do today, is this practice of breathing. So let's just take a couple minutes to just breathe, practicing diaphragm. Now, whether you want to go supine, whether you want to go on 4-point, or whether you want to go in a seated position like myself, I'm just going to open my hands up to receiving. If I need grounding in my body, then I would take my hands down on my knees. And so what I'm going to just offer is that we take a couple minutes to breathe. And then anything that comes to mind, I will share as we do our breathing. Okay, so closing our eyes, relaxing into our body, keeping our posture in its most direct position. We're focusing on our breath, and through the nose, we'll inhale. And then we exhale. Whenever you feel complete with the most amount of inhale, allow it to be natural, and just focus on the breath. Lots of times when we're focusing on something, there's little room for thoughts and things to do that come into mind, because we're just focusing on our breath and we're focusing on where it should be in our body. But I would also encourage you, as you pay attention to your breath and you monitor your body with your breath, also take your eyes, as they're closed with your lids, take your eyes and focus the eyes on your third eye, which is in your brow. Have your eyes upturned into the brow, opening and encouraging the intuitiveness to come through. Now take note of how you feel. Take note of how your body feels, how your mind feels, the energy, the emotions. Feels really nice, doesn't it? Just that little bit of breathing. And so that's where we're going to finish today. I just wanted to give you a little sneak peek into what it feels like to start breathing correctly. And through each one of these videos, we'll grow just a little bit more in our understanding and our experience with mindfulness, with our breathing, and within different types of meditations. Hope you enjoyed today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.